Well, our big focus, Prime Minister Modi is geared up for a high-stakes diplomatic mission as he landed in Brazil for the 19th G20 Summit that starts today in Rio. The summit promises to be a pivotal moment on the global stage, but before that, the Prime Minister was in Nigeria, where key talks and crucial agreements in sectors like defense and energy were on the table. Now that he's off to Brazil and landed there, the Prime Minister will meet fellow leaders and continue building on India's growing influence. This year, Brazil is carrying forward India's legacy, is what our Prime Minister has said, as he prepared for intense bilateral meetings. Also, this summit marks one of the final international engagements of the US President Joe Biden's tenure before Trump's new administration takes over in January. The G20 Summit is expected to draw other international leaders, though I must mention that Russian President Vladimir Putin, who had skipped last year's summit in New Delhi, is unlikely to reach Rio this year as well. My colleague Mohammad Ghazali has been tracking the Prime Minister's visit very closely. He joins us live at the moment. Ghazali, take us through Prime Minister Modi's G20 agenda.
See, it will be very important to see what kind of statements will be issued in G20 summit in Brazil, because whatever declarations were issued last year when it was hosted by India, it will be reviewed upon, and India also being a Troika member alongside Brazil and South Africa in the BRICS is a very important member of the BRICS. And more than that, what will be more interesting to see is that what will be India's stand when it comes to the global conflict, be it Russia, Ukraine, be it the turmoil in the West Asia. And alongside, there are many agenda when it comes to global issues and global challenges of energy sector and green energy, hydro energy. These are certain issues on which Prime Minister will be addressing there. And also, Prime Minister has reached there from Nigeria. So we saw that what kind of engagement he had there, the outreach in the African region, the West African region. G20 will be very important because last year it was India which hosted it, and has now given the chair to Brazil. So a lot of other engagements, bilateral talks are expected in the G20 summit.
As always, Ghazali, thanks so much for joining us with that update.